Every successful flight starts and ends on the ground. Welcome back to Grant's Pilot Advice. Becoming a pilot is a lot of fun, and getting to learn how to fly an airplane is easily the best part. However, there is another half of your training which is just as important, but is often overlooked by both students and instructors. This is the ground portion of your training, where you learn the theory that explains what we do in the airplane. It is my belief that your efforts on the ground will lead to more success in the airplane, and most importantly, on your check ride. I hope to convince you to take your ground training seriously and make it a bigger part of your overall pilot training. For any Part 141 training syllabus, there is a ground training requirement which must be taught by an instructor. Here, you and I will sit down in the ground room and go over the required knowledge, including regulations, flight planning, and airport markings, as well as explaining maneuvers and flying techniques. This is great for the student as it takes place on the ground in a controlled environment. We don't have to deal with the same distractions as we would in the airplane, and we can go over the material at our leisure. Your instructor, me, will do their best to teach you all the information, but it falls on you to take your learning home with you as well. The student, you, should take ownership for their ground instruction outside the scheduled training sessions. Like regular school, I can lecture you about a topic and we can have a discussion about it, but it's still on you to go home and study that information. Meeting your instructor every day is tough on schedules and can very quickly get expensive. Luckily, there are plenty of options for at-home ground school programs. This includes Sporties, King Schools, Gleim Aviation, and many, many more. I would strongly suggest purchasing one of these programs to supplement your training at home. Additionally, there are plenty of free resources provided by the Federal Aviation Administration which you can use for your ground training. The Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge is all-encompassing and covers nearly everything related to aviation. The Airplane Flying Handbook is your one-stop shop for all things related to maneuvers and flying techniques. The Federal Aviation Regulations contain the rules which govern aviation. The Aeronautical Information Manual contains additional information regarding airspace and airport operations. And finally, the Airman Certification Standards is your study guide for your check ride. Your ground training will be evaluated at 2 points: the knowledge test and the oral portion of the practical exam or check ride. Test prep materials for these evaluations should not be used to replace ground training. You may know the answers to the questions on the knowledge test, but you may not truly know the information when it comes to the check ride. The knowledge test is a computer-based multiple choice exam. Take this seriously. This is your chance to check your knowledge, and anything you missed will be asked about on your check ride. The oral portion of your practical exam is a discussion with your designated pilot examiner. They will ask you questions and give you scenarios to test your knowledge, and you must pass the oral part to continue on to the flight. As you can see, your ground training is so important to your overall success. You will not only achieve higher scores on your evaluations, but you'll have a better understanding of the information required to be a better pilot. You should be much happier knowing you took all facets of your training seriously and you took the time to learn the information. If you have any questions, leave them below. Leave a like on this video and share to get your fellow pilots to take their ground training seriously. Subscribe to my channel and check out some of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching. Fly safe and never stop learning.